Hello everybody, welcome to Cape Rugby TV. It's of course Wednesday night and we bring you the very best of what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Before we get the ball rolling, big thanks to our sponsors, of course, Hisense, who's on board as the technical partner to Cape Rugby TV. Score Energy Drinks, of course, involved with Western Province Rugby now, and especially with the Western Province Club Rugby Sevens, and that comes up a little bit later in the year, and we of course know that they have been involved with some of the other tournaments and have been looking after the club. So Score Energy Drinks on board with Cape Rugby TV. Remember, you can win yourself a case of Score Energy Drinks a little bit later. And Dulux Maitland at number 30 Coburg Road, out there at in Maitland, ready to look after all your paint requirements. Stick around, we've got some great competitions coming up during the show. Keep your cell phones handy. Remember, 33090. All right, let me introduce you to my panel this evening. Philip, welcome back. Young Wesley's chairman, president, captain, coach, player, fly-off, centre. I'm not really sure anymore.
You know it all.
Nice to have you back on the show.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, we're looking forward to find out what's happening at Wesley's, the Wesley boys.
Good.
Clint van Rensburg at Villages now. Welcome back.
Thank you.
We've had you. We haven't had you for a while now.
Yeah, it's always good to come and chat.
Yeah, you guys are in the middle of some school trials and stuff now. Are you involved with that again this year?
Yeah, Western Province Schools. We actually have it today, and then obviously still running with Ronnenbosch and now Village. So busy time.
And Sharky, Judge Rugby, Sean Littleford, welcome back.
Oh mate, good to have you back as well. Well done on your trip.
Yeah, thanks. No, it was an extraordinary adventure, put it that way. Yeah. All right, folks, we are back and it's full systems go. As I said, coming up on the show tonight, a lot of competitions, so stick around. Keep your cell phones handy, especially got your Hisense phones handy. 33090 is the number that you're going to need a little bit later. As usual, we go to a fixture game. SK Warmers were up against Durban. We chat to the captains and coaches, and we'll, of course, also talk about the schools rugby trials that is on at the moment. But why don't we get the ball rolling? We'll start it off with the fixture over the weekend, which was SK Warmers up against Durban. We'll check out the first match, at least the first half highlights of the match. All right, Sharky, let's go straight to you. You were making copious notes there with different players. Your thoughts?
Yeah, interesting first half. I thought some good hands by Durbel, especially with that first try. It was a great sneaky little offload, which I didn't quite see. So well done to that. But I think Wilton Peterson for SK, very big and strong out in the wing, shrugged off quite a few tackles, and also Daniel Erasmus at 12. Both of them were quite evident in that passage in that first half. They're running holes through the defence.
Clint, let's bring you into this. 42-38. I mean, we're starting to see some big points. We'll take a look at the Marty's Hamilton's, at least Marty's false base score a little bit later. But in Superliga, we're starting to see some really big points on the board at the moment.
Yeah, another humdinger. Really, not the only one of the weekend. Nice tries. A couple of them scored out wide. So it just shows you the intent of the clubs to play a bit of rugby. And and obviously having the skill to finish those tries.
Yeah.
Nice Osman from SK Warmers, he's a elusive little runner, creating a lot of opportunities for SK. And then I thought the Durbanville midfield was a little bit leaky.
Were you at the game?
I wasn't there.
Oh, you mean from the video?
Yeah.
Yeah. Philip, we're starting to see maybe more running rugby creep into the game now.
Yeah, I think the guys are getting more excited about rugby actually, and I think the community are uplifting them and bringing them more to the game so that everybody can enjoy the game, so that the players also can enjoy the game on the field, and that is a highlight for me when there's enough spectators and people that you play a better game.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to just see a 10-all game or a 5-all game when you're watching rugby.
No.
You come watch club rugby on a weekend, you want to see the guys run.
Yeah, I think club rugby is nowadays the best to watch.
Yeah. Very exciting game.
Yeah.
Apparently the guys got a standing ovation at the Marty's False Bay game. All right, folks, let's take a look now at the second half. Durban, SK Warmers. Their second half looks like Durban closed the door on SK there. 4 points though, still very close game. Sharky, everyone's saying these games today they can go either way.
Yeah, pretty tight one. Durban have had a pretty tough start to the season as well, so they really needed that win. I thought Carl Liebenberg at 8 for Durban, unbelievable. He's a big, strong ball carrier, but also playmaker as well. He set up a try in the first half and worked really, really well in the second. And then 2 penalties at the end for Durban to win it, if I'm not mistaken. So pretty tight game, and I think SK feel a little bit hard done by not getting a little bit more out of the game.
Yeah, so Durban, I mean, they certainly have had a bit of a rough season so far. They'll be looking for these victories and to build back to make sure that they're in contention at a later stage.
100%, and winning at home is where it needs to start as well. Yeah. You didn't expect them to get off to 3 losses, if I'm not mistaken, or 2 losses to the start of the season. And SK would have been a tough game when you really want to turn your season around. So well done to them.
I think maybe the surprise loss, Philip, for Durban against Union Mill right in the beginning of the season for Durban might have been a bit of a wake-up call.
Exactly, because as you can see now, they are playing a better game now, and it's all about teamwork. If you have teamwork, then you can score, and I mean everybody must be behind the ball. As you can see, that number 8 Liebenberg is playing a good game. I mean he needs all the support, and then he can go far.
Clint, the leagues are different now. You don't have an opportunity anymore to play home and away. So you've got one shot at it, and then you have to wait a year before you have an opportunity, unless you're maybe in the finals or so on. You have one shot at it only. So these home game opportunities, is that what coaches are focusing on now? Like, you've got to win all your home games. Is it that strategic?
No, you really got to focus on every game. Every game is really a final in terms of the points. I think SK can count themselves unlucky there. Away win there would have been massive for them and devastating for Durbanville.
Yeah.
Obviously Durbanville, with their backs against the wall, came out trumps, which was great. But yeah, I enjoy the double headers. That return match is always something that the guys look forward to, especially if you need to get back to winning ways. And also just you nice and prepared for that second one as well. I thought Daniel Erasmus from SK Warmers had a strong showing in that game as well, with some nice powerful carries. But SK came to play, which is encouraging. So the teams will have to watch out for them going forward.
Yeah. I think maybe, I don't know, Philip, the warm-up games before the season, you guys, in fact, one of the shows every year, you prepped one, a warm-up game. I can't remember who it was, but when we were doing the coaches and captain's corner, and you guys worked on getting some friendlies going. Yes. Just beforehand, but I thought maybe SK could have had one more friendly game. They didn't have a lot of friendlies. Some of the other clubs had friendlies, so maybe SK's momentum is still starting to come about.
Yeah, I think maybe some of the clubs, they don't want to play too many friendlies because they actually they're worried about the injuries and all that. So I think the more you practice, the more games you get in and friendlies you play, I think the better you will do in the end of the day.
You think the clubs feel like the season's too long? I mean, there are so many breaks. There's more than enough time for the players to rest.
Oh, there's a lot of breaks, but I mean, if you're a rugby player, you must play rugby.
Yeah, I like that. I like the way you're thinking, because we quite often say, "Oh no, there's too much rugby in the season." I know that's what Sharky's going to say. There's never enough rugby in the season.
Never.
You play for the fans, huh?
Of course.
Yeah.
I would never say that. Are you joking?
Yeah.
From a club rugby point of view.
I know, you professional players, you've got a whole different way of looking at it. You know, there's too many games in the season and all that.
Yeah, the community, they want the rugby. There's nothing that they can do. They just want to go to the field and play rugby and watch rugby. For them, it's like an outing on a Saturday.
Well, I keep thinking back to I know people probably get on my case about the fact that I talk about community too much, but I keep thinking that what do you do when the season closes? Do you close that clubhouse door and then tell the kids come back in 5 months' time when we start playing rugby again, or we start playing tennis again, or whatever it is? You know, that's what the club is there for. You've got to open the door and you've got to keep the activity going. If you can't play 15-man rugby, then switch it to 7s and 10s and touch rugby and fun runs or whatever. But you've got to keep that club going all the time. I don't know. Clint, how do you feel about that?
No, it's a good question. I've never thought about it, but you're spot on. I think when the regular season finishes, there's opportunities for 7s, touch rugby even. And so guys can hone their skills and keep busy and off the streets, out of the pubs.
I mean, isn't that one of the problems today? Kids, moms and dads are not really looking after kids. Kids getting up to mischief. So you've got to have a club where they can go to. And that club must be in your community. Yeah. Somewhere close by. They come off the street. Kom hierso. Kom, speel op die veld. You know, a coach. Anyway, Sharks, your opinion?
I agree. You know, sometimes there's you've got some clubs that are sports clubs, and they will offer a number of sports. But many communities will have a rugby and a cricket club. There, so there is the opportunity, and many clubs will often double up. So I know a number of rugby clubs have the athletics club are housed there as well. Yeah. So Atlantic Athletic Club at Hammies, and I know a few other of the guys have sort of running clubs and triathlon clubs and. So there is an opportunity. I think it's more a case of if you want to find it, if you want to look for it, you'll find it. But maybe just getting everyone sort of buying together and having one focus for the community and getting it going and having a little bit of communication might be where it's needed.
Well, communication, I think that's one of the key words, is communication. It's what's happening, when's it happening, where's it happening, and we have to develop these communication strategies unique to each organization. Some clubs are good at emails, others are good at WhatsApp, others are good at Facebook. You've got to be able to talk to your people. Right, folks, let's speak to the captains and coaches now, but we'll do that after the break. So stick around when we speak to the SK Warmers head coach Kennedy Ford and Daniel Erasmus, of course, the captain at SK Warmers. And we'll speak to head coach Bobby Joubert, as well as Ashton Constant, who's, of course, the captain at Durban. He's been on the show before. All that after the break. Here we go, folks. Welcome back. Cape Rugby TV every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. Tell your friends. This is where we talk about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Certainly the most exciting club rugby arena in South Africa. And you can get it all right here on Cape Rugby TV. No better place to find out what's happening in the leagues, who the coaches are and captains. Incidentally, we've got some great comments that came in from many of you watching the show. From some coaches and from some captains. We'll get you those one-liners a little bit later. As you know, SK Warmers and Durban was our feature match over the weekend. Let's catch up now with the coach of SK Warmers, Kennedy Ford.
Dankie aan my span. Ek dink hulle het karakter getoon. Seisoen is nog lank. Ons sal terugkeer en regstel waar ons verkeerd gegaan het. In Durban wil ek sê, julle is glad nie die span wat mense probeer voorhou julle is nie. Julle gaan nog heel wat spanne in die toekoms verras. Sterkte vir julle vir die seisoen voor. Ja, soos ek sê, dis nog vroeg in die seisoen. Daar's nog heel wat werk wat ons moet doen. En ek glo en vertrou met verloop van tyd gaan ons net al beter word. Ek het hulle nou gesê, dit gebeur in die lewe. As die perd jou afgegooi het, is dit belangrik dat jy nie in 'n hoek sal gaan sit en gaan weggooi nie. Perd het ons afgegooi. As belangrik dat ons hom weer sal opstal en soos ek gesê het, terugkeer om ons ondersteuners tevrede te stel. Ons is maandag terug op die oefenveld en soos ek gesê het, ons sal probeer regmaak waar dit verkeerd gegaan het. Met die hoop dat dit vorentoe net beter sal gaan.
Kennedy Ford, head coach at SK Warmers. Let's speak to the captain now, Daniel Erasmus.
Ja, beslis. Bal het definitief ons kant op vandag. Maar ek kan niet trots zijn op die boys, het alles gegee. Men het geweet, Durban wil gaan honger wees vir die wen. Maar wat kan men nou maken? Stelling is op die bord. Ja, beslis. As jy morgen kyk, sal jy gesien het ons 'n hele paar manne wat goeie talent het. En 'n paar senior spelers wat regtig hulle hand opsteek en wat deurkom die jaar. So ons hoop dat verder in die seisoen dat dinge sal beter gaan en die manne hulle voete sal vind vir al die jong manne. So om hulle plek te samement in die span. Ja, ons het jaar 'n bietjie stadig begin. Ons het net 1 wen nodig gehad teen Milnerton. Die jaar is basically nog lank. So ons kyk vorentoe aan en ons hoop dat die conference net sal optel. Dat dinge sal regloop vir ons.
Welcome back, folks. All right, so apparently there's a bit of a mix-up with our team sheets here. Of course, folks, we can only work off what we get. Did you spot any name changes there, Sharky?
I just so Daniel played at 13 at outside centre and he scored a couple of good tries. I just very impressed with the inside centre as well. I thought the centre pairing as a whole were very handy, but yeah, good game.
Yeah, let's catch up now with Durban head coach Bobby Joubert.
Ja, ek dink ons maak dit vir onsself taaf op die stadium. Ons doen al die speelwerk, ons werk hard vir ons punte en dan staan ons weer punte af, jy weet. So baie werk op die defense kant wat ons moet doen. Ek is glad nie happy nie. Hulle kom altyd. Ek dink as ons groot rivalries, hulle het ons laas jaar gewen terwyl ons op vorm was daar by hulle. So jy weet, dit is wat hy verloor as jy wedstryde verloor, die ouens kom vir jou hulle respekteer jou nie meer soos hulle moet nie. Maar ek sê hierdie wen vat, dis 5 punte wat ons brood nodig gehad het, so ek is happy met die resultaat, ja. Ons het nou 2 weke af en dan speel ons paneel, dan weer 'n week af en dan speel ons 6 weke in 'n ry. So die kontinuïteit breek is nou nie goed vir ons nie, veral vir 'n span wat nie 100% op vorm is nie. Jy weet, ons wil week in week uitspeel. So ons gaan nou weer 2 weke net 'n bietjie breek.
All right, there we go, folks. Bobby Joubert. The guys don't seem quite happy. I don't know, Philip. The guys don't seem quite happy about the game there. They may be expecting more from both teams, both coaches there already saying that they wanted to see a better performance.
Yeah, maybe the coaches, I always say when you coach a guy on the field, on the training field, you coach him to do the things that he must do on playing day. But then he's not doing the things that you trained him. And that is the problem that I think most of the coaches have. Yeah, you can't do your last minute thing on the field. If you see there's a gap, you can go there, but don't do things what the coach didn't tell you to do.
Clint, you're a coach. Is that a fact?
Very true, huh? Very true. But the other thing that comes into play is that when you do lose matches, as Bobby said there, you actually become a target. Guys see a little weakness there. They see an opportunity to come and beat you at home. So it's very important to get those W's behind your name, so the guys sort of realize, hang on, we're going to struggle for a win here today.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit disappointing. But I mean, I think Dermerville and Bobby and them obviously under pressure in that. So he looks a lot more relieved there.
He's talking about continuity in the season. He says he's got another 2 weeks off now. I mean, that must be extremely difficult. Now, you've just taken a win, you've just taken 5 points. That after you've taken a loss against a side that's just got promoted. You got your win under the belt. You want to go into the next game. 7 days later, you want to go off that winning streak. Now you've got to break for 2 weeks. It must be extremely tough on a coach.
No, it is. They say it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They obviously didn't have a good start. So now they got that momentum that you are talking about.
Yeah.
Very difficult. But I mean, that's why the coaches have just got to keep it up, got to keep the guys positive, and just try and. Well, it's difficult to build on it when you don't have any games.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're up against it.
All right, let's speak to Ashton Constant. He is, of course, the captain at Durban.
Ja, yes. Maar hoekom by Kroek, maar as het om deurgedruk, hè? Ja, ek dink net ons is glad nie 'n slegte rugby span nie. Is net die lak van die bal het net na ons kant toe gekom nie. En big up to the boys vandag. Ons het gestik na ons games en ons geglo in ons stelsels en het deurgekom vir ons. Ja, ons het baie elementêre foute ook gemaak. But soos ek sê, die ouens het wel 'n ganse stick en ons het dit deurgedra. Super is 'n maklike kompetisie. Ek het al baie kompetisies gespeel. Dis een van die sterkste klubkompetisies in die wêreld. So elke week sal jy met jou beste bring in die liga. Wel, rugby is 'n confidence sport. So as jou confidence hoog is, dan gaan jy goeie rugby lewer. Ons rug was nie die muur voor vandag. Ons kan nou net upwards en onwards, hè.
Onwards and upwards, Ashton Constante. He's a man who brings a lot of experience in the game. He's played a couple of provincial sides as well. That kind of experience, Sharky, will of course help stabilize the team.
Absolutely, but he also makes some very, very valid points, and he's a very nice, authentic interview where you really get the feel of how they feel, and it's not lip service for the camera. It's really genuinely what's going down there, and they've got a lot of work to do, and they've got a few things they've definitely been looking at themselves the last couple of weeks, and by the time they repay the coach for the faith that he's given them, and they did it now.
Yeah, Clint, I mean, that's one of the things you want to do is you've got to be able to get your players inspired to play for the coach, because especially in the lower leagues, there's no money, that kind of thing. A lot in the professional space, you play for your contract. You play, and it's very seldom today that we see players playing for a coach. In the community space, where your coaches are your role models, your community leaders, they're the ones that are looking after the kids, they're fetching people at home, and they know the moms and the dads and stuff. You've got to instill that respect. So when it comes game day, you're playing for your coach.
No, true. This year, your name gets written down on the team sheet by the coach. So he puts his faith in you, and as a player, you feel you need to repay him. But if he doesn't inspire you and you don't want to play for him, that's a massive problem. But with the Durbanville side, I've never heard of a bad Durbanville side in all the years I've been in Cape Town. Obviously, their confidence is low, as Ashton said there. But they just needed maybe this one, just to get that confidence back. And Bobby's a good oak. The guys will play for him.
Yeah. Philip, but back on the coaching side, the last thing that you hear before you take to the field is the words from the coach. If the coach is putting you in the right mindset, is positive, and you've been working with a positive mindset during the course of the week, then you'll go into that field in a positive way.
Exactly. You must just do what the coach told you to do. And my opinion is always listen to the coach, because he's the one that guides you at the end of the day. Yeah. And then, like he says now that if you don't perform on the field, you must know what you must do next on the training field.
Yeah. All right, folks, let's take a look now at the other results in Super League A. Primrose, went 1 point down to Belhart. Just 1 point, 26 points to 5. Sharky, close game. Primrose definitely now seeing things a little bit differently. They're starting to maybe shake some boots a little bit.
100%. You know, I've always I'm a massive fan of when you start scoring a lot of tries. It's important. You can't teach people to run good lines, and to score tries is great for a club.
Yeah.
If you're leaking a lot of tries, you can work on your defense. You can't really be taught that whole scoring ability. The guys are putting the points on the board. Unfortunately, they lost on Saturday by a point.
1 point. I mean, 1
cracking
point.
game.
I mean, they'll be walking away. Primrose guys will be walking away going, great game, guys.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Okay,
No one
not
likes a
great
loss
game.
at home, eh?
All right, let's take a look at the rest of the logs there. Brackenfell, a 2-point win over Vix. Clint, Vix have been a domineering outfit this year, as they always have been. They're the Marty second side. Brackenfell back up in Super League A. Maybe giving Vix a bit of a wake-up call.
Yeah, well, this year, Vix, they're dangerous. I mean, imagine being a club that can have a second team like that. So they're very lucky.
Yeah.
Like I said, Brackenfell also, I mean, they've put something together nice. That's something special at that club as well. They're busy growing, and they're definitely a side to watch going forward.
All right, let's go back to the logs there. The next result on the board, of course, Hamilton's beating Union Mill 62 points to 24. Sharky, Union Mill beat Durbell. Durbell's a class outfit, and they lost by almost 3 times the score there, 62-24 against Hammies. Is Hammies just a monster outfit this year, or did Ishmael Dolly decide I'm gonna play a bit strategic because I've got Marty's coming up on Wednesday?
Yeah, interesting one. They actually took the lead after 30 seconds. They scored a try straight off the kickoff, so it was quite an interesting little start for the game. Hammies, I think, probably finally clicked this year from the get-go. But Unimil offered some good resistance. They do have Marty's on Wednesday, but they've also got False Bay on Saturday. So they really have a tough 7-day turnaround playing Hammies, Marty's and Bay. So it must have been tough for Ishi and the guys to figure out how they're going to balance the squads and where they think they can take points and how they think they're going to manage the players.
Yeah.
It's really tough and quite a large mountain to climb for them.
Yeah, I suppose, Philip, when you get promoted from a lower league into a new league, you've got to think, what are you saying? We just want to stay in the league, or we're going to try and win the league? I mean, there's all sorts of things. It must be real challenging for a coach to get promoted into a new league where everything is bigger, faster, there's more money, whatever the case may be, more resources, the higher up you go. And then as a coach, you're now struggling with that idea of, guys, what do we do? Do we just play it safe, rest some players, win some games because we just need to stay there? Because you only need to stay with out of the bottom 3, or do you go 100% every game and run some risks?
No, I would say that if my team go up to the next division or to Super League B or A or whatever the case may be, I would say when they go up, they mustn't come down again. If you go up, you must maintain that spirit that you have. The gears, like you always say, you must maintain that so that you can stay up there, and that will shows you that the coach is doing a good job. And for me, going up with a team, we have to stay there and say, all right, we're gonna go more higher than this, and our players can go play for Stormers or even Western Province.
First rule, self-preservation.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look there. The other results that came in Super League over the weekend. It was Stellenbosch and False Bay 41-40. Tygerberg beat NTK 25-3. UWC 49-17, and then of course Durbell beating SK Warmers. Clint, let's just look at that first result there that I just went back to now. Stellenbosch Marties 1 point in it. False Bay have won, I don't know now, I don't have the number, I've got the number somewhere, but something like 20 games in a row on the trot. Yeah. This was the one that they certainly would have earmarked as a win to beat Marties.
No, for sure. False Bay believe they can win at Gutsenberg. They've done it in the past. They're confident to play against Marty's. They've got their number at this stage. Marty's, yeah, well done for getting the win there. And False Bay obviously gave it their all there, but you know, you don't want to get that close at Guttenberg. Apparently, Doc had the keys to the clock tower.
Yeah, apparently they went like 5 or 6 minutes. There was extra time, according to the refs' watch. I mean, do you guys know, Sharky? Do you know on the side of the field how much extra time the ref has got on the clock? Does anybody know?
Yeah, the captain will definitely ask. But nowadays the coaches are keeping track of everything. They know roughly where you are and what's happening, and you just got to hope that the ref's on top of it and is realistic with what's happening. Doesn't say you've got 2 minutes left and then play 6 minutes. I'm not sure how the conversations went, but at the end of the day, you've got to play to the end. The other team are playing to the end. You must play to the end, and if it goes for 100 minutes, so be it.
Yeah, to my understanding, I mean, it's 80 points in that game, and to my understanding, False Bay were actually in the lead on the 80th minute. And then there were some tries and conversions and so forth that swung it back into Marty's favour right at the end there, which must make it devastating for False Bay that they thought, okay, we've got it.
100%. To lose a game that you really, really, really want to win with the last play and their kick to win is it hurts.
I feel for Jono van der Walt. Jono van der Walt has really made it work at the Bay. In the same way that at Hammies, for example, Anton Moorman and Nicky have made it work, So, yeah, no, it must be very tough. Tygerberg, of course, continuing with their dominance, 25-3 over NTK. UWC finally making a bit of a turn after a few losses there, coming back 49-17 over Peniel Villages, and then, as you know, Durban beat SK Warmers. All right, folks, we've got some photographs here. Primrose, this was with their 1 point margin against Belhar, and then False Bay. There's a great picture there of the Bay boys, 41-40 over False Bay for Marty's. Tygerberg, 25-3 over NTK. Nice action photographs there. Good low tackles in that shot. That's a nice tackle there. And then we'll take a look at Super League B after the break. So don't go anywhere. Back in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. All right. Let's take a look at Super League B's results. Young Peoples, they went down to Kelsriver 34-7. It was Violets with a loss against Belleville. Belleville still continuing to dominate. Villagers beat Rangers 31-26. Paul went down to St. George's 27-13. Hands and Hearts with a massive win over Solarians. Hamlets 39-13 over Collegians, and Franschhoek 37-30 lost to Helderberg. Clint, you're now the head coach at Villagers. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Haven't had a chance. We didn't even know that until a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it all happened very quickly.
Yeah.
The rugby world is small. A little bird whispered something in my ear, and then I whispered something. And the next minute, myself and Rob Wagner met and had coffee, and it happened. Yeah.
All right, okay. And then you had a good... so how many games have you been coaching now?
4.
Four games. So you had a good win over Rangers over the weekend.
Yeah, this year it was a close one.
Yeah.
Absolute dominance in the first half, but could not capitalise.
Yeah.
And then they actually had the lead towards the end with about 3 or 4 minutes to go, and we managed to sneak one of those heartbroken ones for them. But it was good to finish for us.
So it was you and Ebe Murat going head to head?
Yeah, my good friend Baba.
Baba Murat, yeah.
Yeah, no, Alicia, I watched him from the top there, and he was getting quite excited, but in his quiet manner. He must be, he could feel a little bit hard done. His boys really showed up and played some nice rugby. And then they almost had us
against the ropes. Yeah, they had you on the ropes, so to speak. All right, let's take a look at some of the photographs that came in there. Kelsriver 34-7 over Young Peoples. Nice picture, a nice action shot. And then, of course, a nice picture you have. There you go, Villagers. Who's that in the picture, in the shot there, number 10, Clint?
Marius Viviers, number 10. Maybe not the best tackle technique right there. I hope he got him, but Marius is a quality player. He's got a really good boot, and I'm looking forward to seeing him develop a lot more.
All right, let's look at Super League C. Langa went down to Scottsdene Central 35-32. Lagunya went down to Macassar 57-14. Vineyards 39-19 over Strand. Young Stars went down to Busy Bees. Wraithby with a win over Elsies, and All Saints beating Strand United. Then some more pictures here. A great picture here from Langa. You can see that picture was taken at Langa Of course, Scottsdene coming off the win against Langa. Big derby game, by the way, for Scottsdene this weekend, folks. I think they're playing Young Peoples over the weekend. Renzo, where? Anyway, I've been inundated with messages from the guys at Scottsdene saying that this is the weekend, a big derby match. What? Vineyards from Paul Vineyards, yeah. So big derby game for the guys from at Scottsdene. All Saints, nice picture here. You can see this picture was obviously taken at Abattoir. Well, I think that's Abattoir Sports Grounds. Strand United beating All Saints over the weekend. Of course, I think Strand United and Strand Pioneers share the same field. All right, folks, if you want to get yourself sorted out in the world of paint, Dulux Maitland at number 30 Coburg Road is where you need to go to. They will tint your paint, very fast turnaround. It is an absolutely fantastic little store, Dulux Maitland, number 30 Coburg Road. They will help you spec your venue, whether you're a contractor or domestic, it doesn't matter. Free delivery in the Cape Metropole area. Their rock grip range, of course, includes the wall and ceiling primers and paints, as well as the acrylic roof paints and plaster primers. And if you're a contractor, or in fact anybody out there, go down to Dulux Maitland, number 30 Coburg Road, and you can enter there and put yourself in line to win a contractor's trailer. You know, those big trailers that you put behind your vehicle and you put all your tools in and your paints in. It's worth 15,000 rands to get down there. What I really like about the fact is that if I want to work out at my project or at my house how much paint I'm going to need and what my costing is going to be, then Dulux Maitland will come out there and measure exactly what I need, and then of course will help us with the colors and so forth. So Dulux Maitland, number 30 Coburg Road. Get down there and speak to the guys, and they will be able to help you with all of your contracting requirements, specifically for paint, and look out for that rock grip range. There's great deals available on that. We'll take an ad break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the rest of the logs. Remember, keep those cell phones handy, and you win yourself a case of Score energy drinks. Back in a sec. All right, welcome back, everybody. Cape Rugby TV. City League. Let's take a look at the fixtures now in the City League. Caledonian Roses, Callies, with a 30-10 win over CPUT. And then Manenberg Rangers went 1 point up over Silvertree. That must have been a cracker of a match. Western Zebras, 43-5 over Perseverance. Progress pulled one off over Masiphumelele. And Police, 65-0 over Watsonia. Philip, Callies will be happy with that result. 30 points to 10 over CPUT, or Tech, if we want to call them that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, what's his name? Mr. Steerman.
Yeah.
He's a happy guy now, I would say, because why? He don't want to lose a game. And for Kelly's now, I thumbs up for them.
Yeah. Right. Then, of course, Manenberg Rangers, a 1 point win. Philip, 1 point win, 18-17 over Silvertree. Manenberg Rangers will be very happy with that result.
That must have been a very good game.
Yeah.
I mean,
you would almost say that that's almost like a derby match for them.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah?
I mean, they all in the same area.
Yeah.
And that was a good game.
Yeah. 1 point there. Zebras with a 43-5 win over. Right, folks, let's move along now. We'll take a look at what's happening in the Southern League. Young Wesley's 22-0 over Rocklands. Thistle 16-10 over Titans, and then Silverleaf going down to Atlantis. Philip, there's your team now. Young Wesley's in the Southern League 22-0 over Rocklands. Either your defense was very good or no one showed up.
No.
We don't often see nil on the board.
Yes, I think that Rocklands came out there to win. And like each and every game, Mr. Coach, that we go on the field to win a game. So on Saturday, we as the home team went on the field to win our game.
Yeah.
And we won all three our games. I mean, the second team won 36-0.
Yeah.
And the third team and the second team won 26.
So what was it that made it work for Young Wesley's on the day? Was it attacking rugby? Were your defence really good? I mean, obviously Rocklands just couldn't get through your defence.
I would say both sides, because we're doing very well on our coaching and the training field. On the training field, we work hard. I mean, I'm there most of the time on the field when they train, and I also motivate the guys to come train every Saturday. I tell them, we train on Tuesdays and Thursdays, please come guys. And on Saturday, the coach tell me, I'm finished talking about training. we will just play the game.
Now you just
And that
play.
is what we did.
That's a nice way to go about it. Then you take a bit of the pressure off, Sharky. Just say, guys, we've done all the work we can. There's only so much training you can do. There's only, I was going to say, sparring you can do. And then you've got to just make it happen on the day.
Yeah, you can't really do much fixing on a Saturday before game. But for a side to only score 5 points with their first, second, and third teams playing on the day is quite an achievement.
Yeah.
So well done. It was a good result there and a good club result, and that'll be a great little foundation for next week.
I'm pretty sure the festivities were big for young Wesleys on Saturday night, Philip.
Yeah, the guys were talking about the next game that we supposed to play, or we are playing Titans and then Retreat. That is also 2 big games for us in our division. And I said we must rather concentrate on the game that we play on the day, and then we go on to the next game.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at the Northern League now. 22-20 over Whistling Wheels. Strand Pioneers went down to Eersterivier. Khayelitsha beat Stellenbosch Coronations. Van der Stel beating Delft 76 points to 5. And then in the Par League, Young Gardens with a loss against Allendale. Violets Paarl with a loss to Young Standards. It was a win for Simondium over Riverstones, and then Lower Paarl beating Paarl Rangers 17 points to 12. Right, folks, as I said earlier on, if you want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, all right, you win yourself a whole case of Score energy drinks. I love this. It's got the the caffeine shot is specifically what I look for. Is that just to get myself that little boost in the afternoon. So when the batteries start running a little bit flat, it's quick to a Score. I don't have to go make myself a cup of coffee. I go straight to the Score energy drink. So you want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks. There you see it behind me now. Just SMS the word Score to 33090 33090. Congratulations to last week's winner, Donnie Sherman. Donnie, you walk away with a case of Score energy drinks. Well, one of the guys from Cape Rugby TV will be in touch with you shortly. All right, folks, so we'll take an ad break. When we come back, we've got some comments from the coaches, and we'll take a look at the fixtures over the weekend. Right, welcome back, everybody. Cape Rugby TV. We had some fantastic comments coming in from the coaches over the weekend. Let's see what the guys have to say. Bobby Hubert at Durbell says a slow start to the season because of many injuries to senior players, but the boys are turning the ship around. Carl Limburg and Raymond Olivier has been outstanding so far. Then Adnan Basir from Primrose says, big vibe on the turnaround of Primrose, much more to come. Outstanding players, Jason Janchis and Siwe July. Points machine, Edgar Safers picked up an injury over the weekend. And then Jonathan van der Walt went on to say, any team can beat any team on the day if you perform. Marty's just proved that when they beat the Bay on the weekend. Elsies Rafir, this is from Jerome Stein, a club with passion and the desire to deliver. Remember, guys, if you train hard, you'll be able to beat anybody. Proud of the youngsters. That's from Jerome Stein over at Elsies Rafir. And then Caledonia's Roses' Siraj van der Berg says, congratulations to Rajab Johari from Caledonian Roses for making it to the second round of the under-18 trials. And then Ishmael Dolly from Union Mill went on to say Super League A is arguably the toughest club rugby league in South Africa, if not Africa. And congratulations to Adrian Roberts and David Geffen, who have been outstanding this season. Regan Marcus from Scottsdene says it's been a good season thus far, and this week we come up against log leaders Vineyards, and it promises to be a titanic clash. Wilbur Crock from NTK went on to say NTK still work in progress, and they're hoping to improve and learning each game. Club rugby in Western Province is alive. Brandon Grant doing well as captain. Unfortunately, they lost Jonty Gray against Hamiltons, and he's out for the season. In Super League B, Grant Albertine from Kelsriver goes on to say one of the most unpredictable leagues in Western Province, but by far the league with the most yes. And then Mark Goliath from Lower Paarl said that the season is tough, but with the commitment of the players, they can be successful. Positive vibes there. Bobby Martin, of course, the head coach, or at least the director of coaching over at Tygerberg, he says that Tygerberg is a club that's on the rise and looking like a team that can go all the way. 20-year-old scrumming sensation Issa Marco as the prop and Dean Talyard have been sensational this season and very lucky to have no injuries at this stage of the season. And then Gerard Scholz from Villagers went on to say, great start of the season so far. The team is playing good rugby and executing what practices well so far. And a lot of individual players are putting up their hands, but the real character of the team is in the efforts of all. Fantastic, great comments there from Gerard Scholz. And then Christian Esterhuizen, head coach at UCT, says the league has been a stop-start affair so far. They've only played 2 matches, and they hope that the guys can continue in the league with the same fighting spirit and character that they've shown in the Varsity Cup. The side is, of course, without 7 players from the Varsity Cup. Bronson Weir from Belhar says against Primrose, they found themselves trailing at the end with 2 minutes to go. And once again, the wonder kid, Junaid Arons, has stepped up on attack and broke the line to score the post, under the posts, converting his own try to win the game. Junaid Arons, a dangerous player, we know that. The Paarl region is set for another tightly contested battle for the league between Lower Paarl and Allendale and the underdog Simondium. Ryan Jordan, Allendale, Kent Williams of Lower Paarl and Jandre Julies of Simondium are the key players setting the trend in the week so far. And then Philip Daniels from Young Wesley's. Well, we've got you on the show, Philip, so we're not going to be posting your quote. Right, folks, it is, of course, the Western Province Rugby School of Excellence taking place, or took place today. We'll bring you coverage of the activities over at City Park. We'll bring you coverage of that next week. It's the Western Province Women's Under 16 and Under 18 trials. That takes place on Saturday, the 30th of May at City Park. The regional team has been selected to play a friendly against the Super League C15 side. The final Western Province emerging side will be named after the match by the selectors. The Hubs program continues, and it's, of course, Western Province Rugby Mini Day. That's going to be on Saturday at Hartier S. Belleville. You've got to get down there. Of course, going to be about 4,000 kids out in the park with 93 schools, 277 teams, and, as I said, 3,000 players already confirmed to take part there. Let's take a quick look at the fixtures coming up this weekend. In Super League A, we'll see UCT up against Stellenbosch on the Green Mile. It's SK Warmers and UWC. Primrose and Hamilton's. NTK take on Vix, False Bay, Union Mill, Brackenfell, and Tygerberg. Any comments there, Clint? Super League A?
Yeah, obviously a tough task ahead of UCT. But like John has said as well, you know, any team can beat any team on the day. Just got to make sure you're nice and sharp and do your basics right. The other one that should be nice and interesting should be the Hamilton's Primrose game out at Rossmead Avenue. So that's always a nice heated battle.
Well, Primrose, as we saw, they're on the up, so it's going to be, they got their tail in the air, so to speak now. False Bay, Union Mills, Sharky, Ishmael Dolly will be thinking this is going to be a tough game.
100%, and they're playing now. They're playing tonight.
Yeah, of course. We'll have to wait for that result to come
against Marty's, and so it is going to be a bit of a challenge. But you know, it's False Bay also going to have a point. They're going to want to come back firing on Saturday after losing to Marty. So I'm just a little worried for Unimall. They might face the fire. You never know.
Too tough, too top in the row. But remember, you've got 12 other teams in the league, so you know, you play your strategic plan, as Philip said earlier on. All right, folks. Super League B, Villagers, Franschhoek. There's going to be a cracker of a game. St George's, Kraaifontein, Solarians and Belleville, Rangers and Violets. It's Paarl and Young Peoples, Hands and Hearts and Hamlets, Collegians and Helderberg. And then in Super League C, Strand United, Young Stars, Scottsdene and Vineyards, Macassar and Hamadias, Lagunya, Wraithby, Goodwood, Lunga, Elsies and All Saints, Busy Bees and Kylemore. And then, of course, it's Western Zebras and Caledonian Roses. And Watsonia take on Silvertree. Temperance and Cities up against Progress, Tech and Young Ideas, Perseverance Police, Masipumalele and Manenberg Rangers. In the Southern League, Titans take on Young Wesley's, playing at Fairmount High School. Peninsula take on Retreat, Bishop Lavers and Young Brothers, Atlantis and Thistles. Philip, just a quick one from you. Titans, Young Wesley's, going to be a tough game over the weekend?
Yes, I think our guys are ready for that game.
Yep.
And we're going to do the best on the day of play.
All right. Good luck for that game. In the Northern League, as Whistling Wheels are up against Khayelitsha, Imikawi and Blue Stars, Eerste Rivier and Stelkor, Delft and Strand Pioneers, Blakes take on Van der Stel over the weekend. Right, folks, that is a wrap. We unfortunately don't have time to go through our Super Brew fixtures over the weekend, but congratulations to Cape Shark. Cape Shark is, of course, the top in the Cape Rugby TV Super Brew pool, running a little bit tight on time. Could not get too much into all of the leagues, but that's mainly because we've got those fantastic quotes coming in from all the coaches, and I think that's very important, the coaches and supporters of Club Rugby just telling us what's happening out there. Philip, best of luck against Titans over the weekend, and thanks for joining us on Cape Rugby TV.
I must thank you, JP, for inviting me back here.
Yeah.
And hope to come back, and I'm waiting on you guys on our field.
I think, have we been out there already this week?
Nope.
No, this year. Okay, well, we got to make a turn at some stage. Clint, great to have you back on the show. Congratulations on your new appointment at Villages, and yeah, I'm sure you guys will be going from gees to gees.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, no, a winning club is a happy club. So
Yeah.
at this stage, it's all going well and everybody's happy. So
Yeah. Well, we could say a happy club is a winning club.
that's it.
Sharky, like the haircut, like the beard, looking very spick there. Nice to have you back on the show.
Oh, good. It's good to be back, and thank you. And it's always a pleasure coming through.
Lekker, fantastic. Right, folks, that's a wrap for us. We'll see you on the weekend at a club rugby, at a club near you where there is club rugby. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. See you next week, same time, same place. Bye-bye.